Friendships come in all shapes and sizes, and are also formed in very different ways and in very different places. One way we form friends is just by being at the same school as somebody, by growing up in the same place. Another way is through the situations you find yourself in through work. There are also friends that you form through activities that are chosen, so through a volunteer activity or a sport, athletics. There are a few downsides to being without friends. One is lack of access to opportunities. It turns out that many people get a lot of jobs and opportunities and chances to go and do things through their friends. So friends do act as a communications information channel. But there are some quite profound effects on health too, mental health and even physical health. It's not exactly clear what the causal relationships are, what's going on, but it is clear that having friends is protective of your health in various ways. And so it's not just that being without friends can make you isolated in a sort of economic or a social sense, but it can also make you sad. And being sad, it turns out, is also bad in terms of your physical as well as emotional health. There's obviously a dystopian version of how these trends could continue, which is a world of essentially atomized individuals without friends, isolated, sad, lonely, perhaps in ill health. I think that's why we have to pay real attention to these trends and to recognize that friendship is incredibly important for human flourishing and that people want to make friends. We are wired to want to be social creatures and to be friends, but that it might be harder for us to do so in certain circumstances. Circumstances where we're under too much pressure, where we're too segregated, where the opportunities to cultivate friendship are not there. A key lesson that we learn is that friendships don't form themselves. Average American teenager spends more time on TikTok every day than socializing at parties, events, or on the phone with friends combined. Established friendships don't require the same time investment as early friendships to keep up, but they do require some commitment. As life distracts you, it's easy to skip out on checking in when a friend goes through exciting or depressing times. And so many friendships fade for lack of attention, often by accident, which is extra tragic because there is never only one person losing a friend. It's always at least two. Another thing that makes many people vulnerable is the way friendship networks are structured. The friendship paradox is the phenomenon that, on average, most people have fewer friends than their friends, which makes sense since you are more likely to be friends with someone who has many friends than with someone who has few. Rather than being densely interconnected, friend networks are often built around central hubs. So if central people disappear from your life, this can deprive you of many connections at once. And it can lead to a distorted self-perception that you are less popular than others, although you are perfectly average. It can get worse quickly with big life events. Maybe you moved for school, work, or love and are left without social networks. Or you had a breakup that left you with the smaller part of the formerly shared social pie. The reasons why you find yourself with less connection than you want are as diverse as people, but the underlying cause is almost always time. There is no shortcut. To make new friends and retain friendships, you have to prioritize relationships, spend time with people in real life, and make them feel that you care. So take a look at yourself and rebalance what you spend your life doing. How to make new friends studies have shown that new friendships can develop quite quickly, weeks after you meet someone. But it takes a few months for a casual friendship to become a close relationship, with the biggest impediment being time invested and the quality of your interactions. To make friends, it helps if you intentionally look for people you have things in common with and who are open to new relationships. We've seen a decline in lots of traditional institutions, including the family, people marrying later if they do marry, obviously, in areas like religion, in some cases the labor market. And so, what that means is there's more of a need for people to have social relationships, connections outside of those institutions. That's where friends are hugely important. But during the same period, we've seen a real decline in the number of people who say that they have a number of close friends. There are a number of factors that could be getting in the way of forming friendships, particularly in 21st century US. Number one is geographical mobility. People moving away from their homes, moving to big cities or career opportunities, which necessarily stretches their friendship network. Parents are spending quite a bit more time on parenting, on looking after their kids, which squeezes out the time that they might have had for friendships before. There's also a lot of emphasis on work and careers, what some scholars call workism, which is a sense that your identity is so wrapped up in your work that you don't have as much energy and time left over for friends. And then lastly, I'd point to the breakdown of relationships as marriages break up or couples separate. That can be really fracturing of friendship groups that have been formed as a couple. Once they break up, the friendship groups very often get shattered as well. One of the necessary steps to making a friend is to admitting that you want to make a friend, to being open to that. That requires a certain vulnerability. It requires you, in some ways, to reveal a need, a desire. And I think as we get older, there's sometimes a sense of shame that comes along with not having enough friends and actually saying, I need a friend.
Don't hesitate to share this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.